Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. Today I'm going to show you my Nationals deck. Let's just... It's gone. So yeah, this video is going to talk about my Nationals experience, including getting my deck stolen, and then also I'm still going to go over the deck. If you just care about seeing what the deck looked like, go to this time stamp here. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of talk about Nationals and how I got my deck stolen. So, all in all, despite despite all that, I had a really good experience. I met a lot of people, took a lot of pictures. This time, I'm going to, instead of making a slideshow, I'm just going to have like an Imager album in the description below. So go check that out. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see a lot of people. I had a couple of people come up to me like, "Hey, are you the Eggman?" And that was really cool for me. I know it's really easy for you to for people to watch someone on YouTube and be like, "Oh man, this guy probably knows he's the shit," but I don't. So it's very humbling for people to come up and talk to me. So I really enjoyed that, and thank you everyone for helping make this weekend really great. So. Yeah, it was really cool, and there were Bandai representatives there too, and they were really cool. I took a picture with them, and I saw them play their, having them play their own game and watching them play it is really cool. It was a fun experience to see that, and yeah, let's go into the weekend. So enter. Essentially, what happened is Thursday. I didn't get a lot of sleep before the event, and I think a lot of people were suspect of that, and so I left on Thursday. Thursday I woke up, probably had like 6 to 8 hours of sleep, worked the day at work, packed for everything, and then took like an hour nap before leaving at 3 a.m. to head to Ohio, which was a 10-hour drive, including losing an hour on the time change. And then we went to someone in my carpool, Dom. He needed to try an LCQ, so we got there at 5 for that. We stayed there for a couple hours. I was really freaking out about what deck I was going to make. The one I decided to make, I think it was the right choice for me and everything, but I made it like at 1 a.m. the night before the event after tossing around a couple of ideas. I'll probably do a deck profile of what I didn't bring and probably what would need to be done to make it better or why I didn't like it. But so yeah, so I did that, and then so I got like 4 hours of sleep, and so that's like over 2 days. And then I went to this event and did 9 hours of rounds, and by the end of it I was exhausted, and a lot of people who I was traveling with, I was delirious and I couldn't hold a conversation and stuff like that. And so and part of this is just because of how my playstyle with this deck. The deck I ran is Hercule Gogeta. It's a little bit slower, and additionally all over half my matches went to time, which like especially at the end of the day. At the end of the day, all of them went to time, and I just was playing like play for an hour, stand up, next round paired, like just immediately run over. So no time to eat, sleep, get a break. So that didn't help at all. And so by the end of round 9, I was like 3. By the end of round 6, I was like 3, 2, and 2, and so I'm like, okay, I'm not probably gonna make it. And then someone convinced me that Sterling convinced me, who I ended up playing the next round, ironically enough, convinced me that I should continue to go because you can get top 50 and you can get some prizes for that. So I played the next 3 rounds. I think I tied all 3 rounds. Or no, sorry, I think I only need 2 more rounds. Yeah, 3, 2, and 2. That was round 7. So I only need 2 more rounds, so 2 more hours of just playing and tying. And by the end of it, I was exhausted, and I don't remember 100% if I put my deck box in my bag or not. I'm pretty sure I did, but the other thing is that at the end of the day, I met up with a lot of fans, and how I give out packs. So I kept having to go into my backpack, grab a pack from the box, and give it out. So there's a huge chance that it just fell out when I was doing that, or I doubt there was any specific malicious play. but definitely someone found my box at the very least and said like, "Oh, look, it's my box now." So that was really upsetting. And then also something. This is probably a personal rant, and already it's a personal rant. But this is the only thing that really bummed me out about this was so I didn't notice this until Sunday morning, the day after, because I was getting ready. I'm like, oh, I have 8 deck boxes in here when I'm supposed to have 9, so I started freaking out. And so I went to, I did a Facebook post, and yeah, it seemed like, oh, and all I said was, I can hear. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna read it verbatim. Probably should have set this up earlier. Let me see. Here we go. Oh, is it not a thing anymore? Oh, here it is. Okay, phew, I thought they deleted it. Let's see. Hey everyone, Egman here. I lost my tournament deck at Nationals last night. I stayed all 9 rounds and misplaced it between the end of the round and getting my prizes. Checked lost and found as well, but no luck. I'm not expecting anything from this post, but just a request from the bottom of my heart to anyone who may have it. I borrowed a lot of cards from my friends, and the cards were simply not mine to lose. Misplaced or otherwise, I just want to get the cards back to my friends. No judgment if anyone suddenly finds it. Thank you. So all I was just doing was saying, my deck box is gone. I just need it back. If anyone has it. I'm not expecting much, but it's the thing, and a lot of people were very kind of saying, like, just in general, like, hey, I hope you get your deck box back and stuff. But there were a couple of people who were simply like, what was it? One of them was really bad, like, no sympathy from me. Bottom line, take better care of your stuff. And I wasn't asking for sympathy, I didn't think, and that just really stung. And of course, it was my mistake, 100%. Like, it's even though someone stole my stuff, it's because I gave them the opportunity for it. So it's not, I'm not saying like, oh, poor me. It was more of just I made a mistake, and if there's a way to undo it, I'd like that. But and someone else put a thing like, let me see if yeah, someone else just said like, this is why you shouldn't, your friend shouldn't trust you to borrow stuff, and that one hurt me a lot personally. And I want to clarify, and the only reason I bring that up is to clarify. As soon as I recognized that I couldn't find it and I probably wasn't getting back, I pretty much sold all of my trade bait, all extra cards, a lot of hollows, all that stuff. Immediately PPG, got all the cards back that my friends borrowed and gave it to them immediately. So that's, I 100% took responsibility for that, and I felt that was a blow to my character, and I wanted to say that that's not a thing. That's my first priority, and it got done. So yeah, okay, I think rant's over. It was a bit emotional, and it was a bad situation. I'm over it, and I want to keep playing the card game, which is good. I know on Sunday I was just like done. I just watched a couple people, but I didn't go into Gunslinger. I didn't even have a deck to play with, to be honest. I didn't feel like building one. I was just down in the dumps. So yeah, but so if anyone was trying to find me Sunday, I'm very sorry about that. That was entirely why. But and why it's taken like a couple days to make this video too. But I'm back now. I'm feeling better. And yeah, thank you guys all for support and everything like that. Now let's go into this deck that's so good someone had to steal it. Boom, baby. All right, so it is this Hercule Gogeta. I've been playing a lot of Hercule in tournaments. If you haven't noticed already, I like the deck, and I think he's really powerful, and he has a lot of good matchups. And to be honest, he's really good against Storm and Cell, which I think was the 2 most popular decks going into the tournament. And of course, he has a really bad matchup against Milge and Nimba, which I'll go into afterwards. But let's just go into it. It's pretty standard. So 4 of each announcers because a negate is good and being able to cycle your cards are good, especially because maybe I should start with Gogeta. So Gogeta is the main thing. You just get to turn 5 and you drop it, and then your opponent has no cards, and you can just swing for game. And so it's really powerful. We only need to run 2 because there's so much cycle in this deck. Our Gogeta targets are a test of strengths on Goku and the double shot Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. But also we have the World Tournament Gokus and Vegetas, which there are... so both of these are World Tournament. They're also 5k combos, which I don't know why, but that's really good. It would be terrible if they were 10k combos. But also, because they're World Tournament, you can search them through Announcer Ever Curious, which is really good also. So if you're missing one, you can dig for the other one really easily. And then also... yeah, so they're really good, and there have been a lot of times in the games where I actually just summoned Supreme Showdown Vegeta. So let me explain what these guys do. When you play this card, if your leader card is World Tournament, you may choose one of your battle cards other than this card placed in your drop area. If you do so, your opponent cannot activate blocker for duration of the turn. That's really powerful, especially against androids where they don't run a lot of negates, but they just run a lot of like blockers. You can just play Supreme Showdown Vegeta, and then you're like, oh, you can't activate your blockers of your Android 18s or 17s, sorry, or Krillins, and you can just swing with triple strike 35k verbatim, which is really good. And the other thing is just, so what Goku does is just he gets summoned if Vegeta comes out and blows up something. But also both of them get plus 10k power if the other one's in the field. And it's not just like with Test of Strengths on Goku and Oob where it's only the turn they do, it's a permanent 10k as long as they're out. So they're just 35k triple strikes that ignore blocker for the first turn they come out. So that's super strong, and I was able to win some games or pressure a lot because of that. They're also red, and so I was already running a lot of red already with the double shots and the Unbreakable Super Saiyan, so I decided to put in Hit, which is like the best red card, and he did a lot of work this weekend. He was really good. I'm really happy. In general, I'm really happy with this build. It was, especially for something that was so last minute, there's a lot of synergy and a lot of just a lot of cool things going on all at once. So foreseeing Hit was really good against the mirror match for sure, because you play him for turn 4, and he was really just for if you were playing against a mirror match and you weren't going first. Foreseeing Hit kind of saves you from that, because on turn 4 you drop this, and then you're like, oh look, they have a Gogeta. Okay, take their Gogeta out of their hand, and then your next turn you play your Gogeta, and then their hand is wiped. So it does a lot for that, and I think that was a really cool interaction. And then also, if you're going first against the cell chain, you can, if you objection turn 2, you can get this out on turn 4, and then you can just do the same thing, get out their cells from being able to do their chain, and then just reset their hand on turn 5. So just, I really like that. It worked a lot more than you think it would, and just in general, being able to peek at your opponent's hand is always just really good. So that was good. These guys were also really good turn 3 plays, just being able to put a lot of pressure. It wasn't even as much removal, but just putting pressure down, which is good. Ultimate Fusion for Gogeta, I probably hard casted more than Union Fusioned, just because it was blow up 2, draw 2, which was awesome. And then we've got Awakened Talent Pan, which was our only, like, we had 2 1-drop plays, either Vegeta or Pan, and Pan was able to help himself awaken. Objection was good game 1, game 2, or 3, you always just want to take it out because they will Dende you. And depending on the deck, against Cell Chain I kept it in because they don't run Dende, but it was really good against a lot of things game 1. So Xenobun was good as long as you weren't playing against the yellow deck, so you can't, you're not afraid of that. And then yeah, you can run the red super combo as well. I wasn't sure what was better, the red one or the blue one, just because for energy wise you might want to charge blue or red. You could probably do any variety of the 2 of them, but I just chose blue. And yeah, and then the announcers, so, and Bean of course, because Bean's super good. So this deck, pretty solid. And then the sideboard real quick, I don't know why, so this is the Gogeta secret rare. I don't know why it's not on Shenron's Lair, but that's that one. We ran 3 more Gogetas. If we were playing against a rush deck that we were never going to see turn 5, or turn 5 doesn't matter, we'd play Ultimate Fusion Gogeta, especially because I'd say that this 5-drop Gogeta is not really good against the Cell Chain, because they pretty much get their hand down to 3 anyways, so playing this on turn 4 right after they cell chain is way more powerful. We've got After Image Technique. This was really good against kind of more rush decks, and also helped you awaken against decks like Janimba, which weren't really trying to press you down. And also is really good against Storm because you could just pop something as well, so good there. We've got Foreseeing Hit. 2 more of those, so if we're going to a deck that we realize that, you know, getting as many of these as possible is important, we do that. 1 extra objection in case we needed it. I probably didn't need this, but in case we were playing a deck that was important. Group Leader Pilaf, he was hilarious, but it's really good against Shenron decks, which I wasn't aware of how powerful they would be. But if they just, you know, give something triple attack, and they swing the first time, you just put down Pilaf, and you're like, okay, take away triple attack, that's your last attack with that card, and then they're like, oh shoot, and then they, you know, they unflip the next turn, and they're in trouble. So good there. Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan, he's good for 2 reasons. He helps self-awaken in case we need that, and then also it just kind of makes your opponent need to deal with it in case there's they're trying to play something with like Chain Attack Zeno, or also if they're going to what else is there, like Child's Wish, stuff like that, makes them deal with it, so that's good. And then Kami, this may have needed to be Dende instead of Kami, but I just was like, okay, I only have room for 1, I'm going to choose Kami, so that's that. And yeah, this is a secret rare. I was able to get it out once against a Janimba, and it was really cool, and because I kept being able to recycle my deck, but I still wasn't able to take it. It was also against let me go through my rounds. So round 1, I played against I think people are calling it the Beerus Shenron. That was my first time playing against it. I was very unexperienced against it, and I lost against that. Game 1, I bricked super hard, and then game 2, I objectioned, and then they're like, oh cool, I'm going to play Dende, and then I'm going to play the 4-drop Shenron, and I'll get Dende back, and I'll keep energy locking you at 4, and I'm like, looking at my 5-drop Gogeta, like, oh, I really need to get this out. So that was really tough. That was a lesson learned. I never put objection in game 2 against decks that could run Dende, and I think that was the right call. So I think it was just completely not knowing the matchup and definitely misplaying there. And in general, I think this deck could have done really well. I don't think I was the best pilot for it, to be honest. Game 2, I placed against a guy named Bradley, who's playing Xenomaidens. That was a lot of fun. It was really stressful. It was very grindy matchup, but I was able to get through it. Game 3, I played against a Storm player. I think his name's Fred. I can't remember. I'm sorry. He added me on Facebook though, so I know the guy, but. So we played Storm. We got to game that I took it on game 3. He was running like 3 Miras and 3 Battering Lasers. So I had to be like I had to be really careful around that. But I was able to clutch it through, and it was really that was really stressful. But I think I win the Storm matchup a lot, which is a shame because that was the only one I ran into. So that was 2-1. Round 4, I played against a Cell deck, which I think my deck is really good against. I don't care about getting Cell Chain as long as I don't awaken until after they do that, so that's good. And then I could do like my hit stuff and mess up their combos too, so that was really good. I won that in 3, so that I was 3-1, and that was the last Cell deck I played all day, which is upsetting. So I really feel like if I kept running into the decks that everyone else was complaining about, I'd do a lot better. Like, this was an anti-meta deck, and I kept running into not meta stuff, I feel like. So that was really upsetting. Round 5, I ran into a Shenron Gogeta. We had to tie that one up. We got to game 3, and then after 4 turns... the time rules is it's 3 turns, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then after that they if it's 10 minutes into that, then they're done. So we got into the 10 minutes, and so we tied that one. And then after that, I had a match on stream. It hasn't been uploaded yet. I'll probably maybe I'll do a deck interview with Zeke if he's if he's up to it. I think that'd be really fun to do. So Zeke, if you're watching this, if you want to do deck, well, I'll contact you. We'll see if that will make sense. But he was running a Baby Vegeta deck that was really cool. It was, and that was streamed. I think so. We ended up tying that one as well. I lost game one, and I think I could have won it. I'd have to go back and look at it, but he attacked with leader, and I could have negated the attack with my announcer. And I'm like, and he had some other big threat on. I think he had like the 20k attack Vegeta, Baby Vegeta. So I was saving the negate for that, and I saw his hand through hit, and I knew what he had. So I should have been like, oh, he's going to attack me with what is it, revenge, or death balls, and boost it up a lot. So I should have done that. I should have negated the attack, but I didn't, and I was 5k short. So lesson learned there. And then I won game 2, and then game 3 went into time, and either of us could win. So I was at that point 3-1-2. So I still had a chance, not unlikely to get into it. So after that, so this is when the fatigue really started to show, and I'm really embarrassed about this. I played against Scotchy. I think that's what people call him. I looked his name on the thing. I'm like, oh, is this Scotchy? And then he wasn't wearing sunglasses, and so I'm like, oh, who is this guy? So he played, and I was playing so terribly, and it was my first time actually playing against a Janemba deck, which is embarrassing in itself. But I just kept making so many like blunders, and I was clearly exhausted. And I really respect him being so kind to me when he could have just called a judge and say, he drew a card when he wasn't supposed to, or stuff like that. So I'm actually pretty glad that he won, because he was definitely in control, and he knew what was going on, and he was definitely the better player in that match. So I'm very happy that he deserved to win, and so that's what happened. Especially since Janemba is such a hard matchup for this deck, because I like to mill myself. It wasn't very. Yeah, it was pretty easy for him, I'd say, to do that. So thank you for that, and hopefully, I don't know. I think sleep was like my main enemy this weekend too, which is an excuse, but. And then after that, I played against a guy named Sterling, super nice guy, also playing Janemba. Ended up tying that one. It was very close though. I think I won game 2, and then we just had to draw. And then lastly, I played against a pan deck too. So as you can see, like I played like the only leader I've played twice. I played 2 Shrine decks and 2 Janemba's deck. Everything else was unique, which was really cool to me. But at the same time, like, not what I wanted to see. Since I wasn't playing meta, I didn't want to just be like the best deck. I wanted to counter it, and so only seeing one Cell and only seeing one Huragarn Storm was just not very good for this deck. But I still think it did a lot of good. But the pan deck is really cool. It was running like chain attack, and is running some Yamchas. And game 1 I lost because he just had a big field. I'm like, oh, I can defend it, and he just played the 3-drop pan and gave everything plus 5k and double strike. And I'm like, okay, I can't win this. So, and then I think game 2 I was able to go cheat at him or something, and then once again we went to time. So. A lot of grindy matchups. It was a lot of fun. I was able to take a lot of good pictures with everyone, and just everyone I met in general was just very great, and I'm happy they're part of this community. So I think that'll wrap up this deck profile and everything. Once again, videos are in, or not videos, images are down below. So if I took a picture with you and you didn't see it or anything like that, go for it. That's the other thing. Reason I'm not doing a PowerPoint this time at the end is because people want their images, I bet. So, yeah, I think that is about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.